Welcome to the 74 Escape Gallery and Store, Meet the Designer series. I'm Nil Ertürk. I'm the founder of Base Stores and Lokal Hareket. I'll be talking with some of the designers included in the store this summer, offering insights into their brands as well as themselves. 74 Escape Store and Gallery offers a journey into and celebrates Turkey's artists and designers. Let's meet the designers. Hi, Aslı. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
Thank you.
So, start by talking about your brand story. How did you start? How everything started?
To tell you the story, a long story, I guess my heart and my hands led the journey and I have followed it. The first time when I started, it was in 2001 and Demet was my first buyer, almost 20 years ago. I've studied economics in Bilkent in Ankara, but I was always doing stuff like earrings, hats, belts, like jewelry, but jewelry. So I was doing stuff, and somehow I met Demet. He gave me my first order for V2K Vakko. It was not under my own name label. So for now, for about 20 years, I'm now excited to collaborate with her again because I find her dear. I've seen along all these years that she has made all her dreams come true. So, news for me. Anyway, I went to New York. But I've dropped all the classes I took because I was paying them myself. And I was working in a boutique and I've started my own. I have worked with all of my friends. They've supported me, like designing my logo, worked my website, helping me to create the value and the branding and everything. And when I first applied to a trade show, and I won a Young Designers contest and invited to Paris. And then when I was in Tokyo, invited for a show, I have met two women. They were the clothing that I've done. And the very first collection was about like the print, and I've heard that all my designs were so unique. So within the very first season, I have had from all over the world, and within the very first collection, I was invited to Japan, and I was showing my two women, and they were like, "Oh, we love it! It's amazing! We want to buy." And normally, if you ask me now, there's no way you would sell your samples back then. And I've studied economics, so I thought cash could be, good to take. And told them she gave me her card, and she was the editor, fashion editor. Vogue Nippon is Vogue Japan, and I always tell the story like I'm probably the very first person designer. So she sent me an email the other day, and she took my designs in the office of Vogue Japan, and they loved it there. So they were asking if I would be interested in a part of one of their collaboration with Comme des Garçons and Vogue Nippon for the anniversary. They were asking if I wanted to be a part of it. And I said, well, okay, well, let's do it. And it was at Aoyama, and which is, I believe, is the coolest in all of the door street markets in the world. So I was part of it, besides the brands like Chanel, Dior, Fendi, Marta Margiela, I mean, all of them. So, and then besides them, there's Aslı Filinta, like Turkish born, like born in Turkey, and designing in New York. I was living in New York. And so I received some journalists to me like, you really? And it was Susie Bubble when she first interviewed me for Dazed and Confused online. Then I was in the Japanese newspapers, and I was selling to the department stores in Japan, like it was Takaya, Isetan, Tomorrowland, you know, a lot of them. So all of a sudden I'm selling in apartment stores, and I'm selling at Door Street Market in Aoyama next to these brands, and I'm invited to like a Comme des Garçons. So then I was on the headline, I could tell, of Hürriyet newspaper in Turkey. And then people heard about me because the journalists, international press. And I have received a phone call from Cem Boyner. He asked about his brand called T-Box. So that way I came back, and within all of this journey, I didn't know to prepare a collection because I don't have a design degree. I have studied economics, but I've learned so well about supplying, and I've thought of supplying. So it's easy, but not easy to learn the production, sourcing, or opening stuff. So it's pretty hard. So that way I came back to Turkey. And then going back and forth to New York, Paris, doing trade shows in Milan and in Istanbul. Here I am.
Such an inspirational story.
It was the shortest I could tell.
It's so good. I felt a few goosebumps while you're telling it. So we know that you're passionate about sustainability, recycling, and upcycling. Can you also describe us how do you practice this mindset as a designer?
I think it grew organically because when I've started thinking and try to be a better person for baby. By thinking like that, it developed you to become a better person for the world. So, and he quite fast. I was buying something, and he wore it for 2 times. I bought like a cashmere sweater for him. He wore it for 2 times. So I was like, okay, there's something wrong here. I can't just buy a couple of months. So I've decided to, can you hear me? Hold on, someone called me, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So I've decided to extend the sweater. So I've cut it into 2 parts, and I've added cotton fabric into a cashmere so it could breathe from the here on. I've shared it on Instagram. And so that way I received my requests from my clients if I would want to do the same for their cashmere sweater. So we've started. I have never, you know, I've been I've done collections for like almost 10 years. Never throw a little single piece of the fabrics. I've always collected them. So in one of the shows, we have designed activities from the unwanted lace fabrics. So then I had requests of doing that because they were belonging to a trash, but we did it like a couture piece. So we have started our upcycling service, which means like women, they have like in your, maybe you use more of your clothing in your wardrobe, use their clothing, like they don't use 60% of it. Like if it's like there's someone gave them as a gift. And bana bir saniye hold edebilir miyiz? Böyle bir şey yapabiliyor muyuz Alya? Hold on one second please. Bir saniye.
Tabii durdurmuyorum, zaten onu keseriz diye.
Lütfen burayı keselim.
Tamam.
Bir dakika. Çözmek üzereyim konuyu. Canlı yayında ne yapıyorlar böyle sinek falan musallat olunca acaba? Evet, devam
Tamam,
edebilirim
kapıyorum
şimdi
sesimi.
galiba.
Sesimi kapıyorum, siz devam edebilirsiniz.
Tamam. All right. So I know friends and people, like I know family through my friends and family. Women especially, they tend to buy new things and that they don't have any space in their wardrobe, and they don't know what to do about it, because if, let's say my orange jacket from many years ago and I find it outdated and it's big and it's, you don't know how to use it, or I don't know how to upcycle it. So that service was for that. So you actually book for the service. We pick the clothing, the piece from your home, we upcycle it and we return it back to you. So it's like you receive a new item, which is not upcycled according to trends tend to die, but we try to do it like a timeless piece and with a designer touch and feeling of you know, because that way you basically used one piece in your wardrobe and you did something good for the world, and you saved a lot of money, so it's good for everyone. And I can't say we had like bookings like days and nights. It still needs some, you know, we still need to tell people that it's cooler to reuse, it's cooler to upcycle, it's cooler, it's the new black. It's very cool to buy a new stuff, and so we're still working on this. Sorry, what did you ask me?
No, it was this. Like I that
okay.
was wondering that the design process is about production and like producing something, but you have this approach. That's why I wanted to, you know, want you to tell us how, as a designer, you can, you know, put these into, you know, use with these aspects. So that was my question, and you answered it
So
perfectly.
it's like, I mean, by working on this on the side of my own business, I have also come to a point, and I've been following up this fashion system for like 10 years. and get somewhere. You have to learn 10 years, and then the 11th year you can put up to it. Like you can create something real, because you exactly learn where the system fails. And as we all know, the fashion system is not really working. So it's like, meanwhile, like when I'm still designing, but what I have done besides this upcycling service and, you know, approaching that way to the business, is that I have come up with solution, like future of my own world, not just for the business, is that I have stopped giving discounts, first of all, because we used to, and I don't have too many stock because I don't produce that much. I have limited quality. I stopped giving discounts because I don't want anyone else to buy something they don't really need, because you're cheaper, and I don't want to support this. So it's like I don't give discounts, I don't ship early anymore, I don't do pre-collections anymore. I decreased the quantity of my production. I have stopped doing reordering. You know, when it's wholesale and you ship early, then it's sold out, then the customer asks you to reorder. And I don't. So it's like, it was once Lara Stone was shot in a suit on the cover of Vogue Turkey, and it was a great image. And I have received like 15 to 25 people, like personally, to buy the jumpsuit, and it was easy for me to produce, and it was Vogue Turkey, a beautiful woman wearing it, and you know, people wanted to feel like that, people wanted to wear that. And basically why the fashion ads are for, why all the fashion magazines are for. And I said no, and they were like, excuse me, sorry, yeah, can you not redo it, like reproduce it? I'm like, yeah, no, we can't we can't do it. Like, sorry. Even like Sarah herself asked about the jumper and jumpsuits, and we were like, sorry. More precious, because you can't have it. Like, you should not be having whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like that, and it's like this is for the I want around me. I use whatever fabric I have. I use whatever accessory I have. I try not to buy new ones. Try to use the stock I have. I have stopped using silk. I am now using vegan silk, which is produced in one of the biggest companies in Union. Is a Turkish company called İpeker in Bursa, and they produce vegan silk. I don't use fur, of course. I don't use leather for myself, and I don't personally to my family and friends not to go there, and I do composting, and you know, it's like a whole new world within yourself, and you share it all, and then you know it bounces back. Like when they see you, they get inspired, and then they try to do the same. So it's like aşkım konsantre olamıyorum sen oraya gelip bir de gülünce. Sorry about that. Biraz önce sineği kovmuştum, şimdi sevgilimi kovdum. Yeah, so I don't eat meat. You know, it's like it all follows. If you do something truly, it all follows, and it reflects in your own life. So
Okay,
basically.
perfect. And also, you're involved with some social responsibility projects. Can you tell us how you give back and help your community within your position?
I always, well, thank you for your great question. It's like to the point. And thank you for not asking me what I have in my beach bag, because it's just 50 plus ultraviolet sun cream. It's like, first of all, I don't feel like it's giving back. I feel like if you do something like a social responsibility for giving, it's actually you take it for yourself. It's not like because you feel yourself good, that means you didn't give it to someone else. You take it for yourself. During these hard times, started in March, and all of our orders were canceled. All these department stores were used to sell, and we did a show in New York during New York Fashion Week in February. Orders came back, and thank God I took that flight. I might have been stayed there, and then all of a sudden, all of those very small quantities stayed. So it's like. We're in the atelier looking at each other, looking at our fabrics, reading the news, and then we got in contact to one of the hospitals in Turkey through a friend of mine, Tanem, and we have learned that they're out of and then we had the fabric. Okay, the fabrics are a bit colorful, but we can still do it. So we start to do it. And I was not sure, oh, you do something, you do it for yourself. I don't feel like, saying out loud. And then all my friends were like, you have to share this. You have to share this and post it on Instagram. Then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And my designers friend, they have started they're producing the scrub. And then one of the biggest fashion companies, they have approached, well, thanks to him, his name is Farhat Sarhangil. He's a dearly friend. He has approached me and he's like, okay, I'll do like about 6,000. Like, all right. So we have like produced more than 10,000 scrubs and delivered into every hospital in Turkey. So we get great feedback, and we were not putting angles because we didn't do this for marketing. During this time, a lot of the brands, they did marketing versus social responsibility. And so it's basically they produce a collection, they do the marketing, they sell it, and then they give the money. And I'm like, okay, there's something wrong here because, someone invented for social responsibility. They have invented this 10 years, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. You don't have to produce a t-shirt that no one's going to wear and sell it and send them is in need. So it's like, just send the money to them. Like, don't produce, because like producing that much. So we didn't put any labeling when we were doing this, and we happened to be like 8 small and 1 big fashion style producer, and we only put a blue evil eye bonjour on the pocket, and we ship it like that. So we get a great response, and we were happy that we did something. And now, and when we were working on this, we were using fabrics that are on stock. That amount of the scrubs, we were also working on the sustainability part because we were using the stock fabric. We were not buying. And now, because I mean, so, and then after the hospitals, they were less of the need for the scrubs. Stop. Team of people with a big hearts, with a big production teams, and we have decided let's not on doing it, and let's put sustainability and social responsibility together. It's like two birds on a bush. And so it's like now what we're actually working on is to upcycle the uniforms. Like I need to tell it to you like that. I have designed a school's uniform 8 years ago and has changed. It was called Italian Collegi once we have started to produce and design, and something happened. They can't use the name Italian Ita Okulları. So thousands of uniforms were in their stock under the label of Italian College, and they left there for 8 years. We have announced that we're gonna prepare the school uniforms in the villages that are in need in Turkey. There are a lot of schools in the far villages of Turkey that the kids don't have uniforms. They're just wearing whatever they have. They sometimes don't have shoes. It's sad. So we have announced that we wanted to do the uniforms of the schools, and I believe that's a step to go along. Maybe like we're now trying to get a qualified schooling, but it might lead to a qualified education, because that way we can be in contact with them and we can learn what they actually need. So we're aware of, education is much important than the uniforms that what are going to wear to school, but that's a way to get our step into those people's areas and meet them and hear them and learn them, maybe, because Turkey is a big industry for textiles, and their companies alone themselves produce like millions of quantities a month. How many schools in Turkey in the villages that are in need? I mean, we can solve this. So for now, we're working on this, going back to school. So they had like 50 boxes of uniforms that are in their stock. So we have collected them now, and so once it's upcycled, like if there's a logo, it's going to change. If the name tag is something else, we're going to take it back, and it's like a very good quality, as I know, because I've designed it, and we're giving them to 10 to 15 schools in Turkey, starting from Adana, because that's where I'm from. It was easier for me to get the schools there. So we're going to start with that, but then we aim to solve this issue in our country. Want to, and that's how you also do a great thing that I know with the local designers, how you get STEM. And I've always believed, like, of course, when you get into this system, it makes you dream about, you want to be big in the world. It makes you dream like you want to be like a designer worldwide. It makes you dream like, all this system makes you feel like you dream things like you, because we were born here. There's a magic about, I don't know if it's magic, but there's a feeling, I believe that there's a reason I was born here. So that's how I believe in being in the local side of the world. And well, I'm happy that I'm talking to someone who already discovers about the local being important, because people with this started to think like local is important. No, it was always important. It was always like that. So I to be talking to you, first of all. You're doing a great thing. And I am because after suffering in this collapsing system, which was never working so good, because either all my friends have neck pains, or they're sick, or because of stress, because you produce something, you design something, you produce something, you're 2 days ahead of each other. Like there's something wrong about it. I'm happy that I have finished the 10 years of suffering in this system that is not working, and I'm in a state of where I can cope. And so I don't feel like I need to report this to someone. I feel like I do it, I do good. Yeah, so that's it.
Sounds perfect. Amazing. I'm so happy about this subject as well. And like when you're talking about the localization, I also would like to see like, how do you also see, how do you think this will impact the other people in this system? Like, can you like have a vision? Because
I feel like
you said you're always been inspired by your elections. We see that, and now, like you said, everyone is started to feel like they need to also and but you, I feel like you have like a deeper connection, or you already told this through. And how do you, is it going to be a trend, or do you think that people are really going to like you, they're gonna get this in their own culture and use it in the fashion? How do you see?
how I think is within the system is collapsing. The economy is, there's a big crisis coming within it now, in Europe, here in US. It's happening now, and I believe anything that's human made is not properly working. It's not like nature. It always ends and it starts at the same time. So it's like a perfect system that works. But with the human systems, they tend to collapse. And how I feel is I have always been the very first answer to you was like where my heart and my hands, they led the things that I feel like I've designed Turkish leather t-shirts, slogans, sell it to Asia. So there's no point, there's no point in this. Like, who could act Turkish leather using Turkish slogans on a t-shirt and aim to sell to China? They don't speak Turkish. But it went well. I sold China before I sold to Turkey. So when people think, I don't see that it's actually helping them. So we really need to feel what our body says, because it knows the current. And the mind is usually, there's like a big war in between them. So and you question if you really need what you're actually doing, then you might stop there. We've been taught to dream bigger and dream bigger and dream bigger. What's big? What can I dream big? Like to send Virgin Atlantic to the Mars, to the moon? why would I do like, you know, it's not like I'm not telling to people not to dream, but to live the moment is like an enemy to dreams, because when you dream something all the time and you approach to it, you dream something else, and you approach to that and you dream something else. But meanwhile, you're missing to live in the moment, because if you stay in the moment, you don't actually need something. And I feel like people need to question this more, like not the world, but they have a big influence, they have a big audience. You know, I don't have millions of quantities that harms the world like any other fashion companies, but I have people to inspire. I have, you know, even inspiring one person is such a big thing. And if I inspire them to buy more, and they have that idea of buying more all the time, we have a limit of we have good customers. When they come, we have the quota for them. Like they can't buy more than 4 pieces a month. Like, you know, it's like maybe I don't become a big fashion house, but I don't know during this day I'm a big fashion house, because the young generation is questioning everything. You know, they're gonna ask you, like, you know, Russian government, they had this EPL, they had this new accounting system a couple of years ago called EPL, Environmental Profit and Loss Accounting System. When it's like a basic accounting system, whatever you take from the world, you give it back. If you produce that much of clothing, then you have to pay back. And they have stopped the big brands to burn their samples. They were burning it. They're burning because they don't want to get into discount to keep the brand big and want. They were burning it. And how come you come up being excited to say buy a bag from that big fashion house for that season, and they're burning their samples? They're basically taking out your oxygen. Yeah. And it's your right, and they're taking it from you, and you still excitement to own that bag because you see it on the billboard. So it's like, you know, I don't know if there's a solution to it, but we need to really feel what we need and want. I'm hoping if we get like just one person from this podcast, I'm happy, because that's what we are.
Definitely. I'm so inspired with all your.
Well, thank you. So we were already inside with you. So you're not not counted.
Definitely. I mean, I'm so inspired. You're making me a better person, and
well,
I
thank
would
you.
like to
So sweet
ask
of you.
you, like as a consumer and as like a viewer, as a consumer, like how can we show or live more consciously as in a lifestyle? Can you give
I think people, like everyone's gonna get their own advices. What I am dreaming right now for myself, I can tell you, because I don't know, everyone's life is their own. I feel like I need to be in first of all, outside of Istanbul, in a place where I can grow my own tomatoes, which I am doing now a little bit. I'm growing my own tomatoes, my own vegetables. I am, you know, I am dreaming of having my own energy. I am having like a little farm with my little animals where I can, have an egg, or I don't eat meat, but I can grow it myself. And turning off the lights when the sun goes down. It's pretty started doing. I wake up at quarter to 6 a.m. It's pretty hard when you live with people. But when the sun goes down, it's basically you really need to have melatonin in your body, and it comes with being in the real dark. That's how you have that in your body. So getting into the fast fashion stores, of course, not buying everything you want, of course, talking to everyone and trying, if you really dig deep, learn about it, and you feel that it's good for the world, spread it out. Upcycle your clothing. Try to search what you need of. Don't look at they're gonna kill me, but the fashion magazines. They're all my friends, them, but it's ads and ads and ads and ads, and they make you feel like you want that. No, you really don't. So it's like, say, because I do it every day and every night. Like, I keep doing it. It's not like I've solved it. I'm trying to stay on the positive side. So
perfect advices. Thank you so much. And also, like you mentioned, you're kind of created your own escape, I believe. So can you escape mean to you? Where do you go mindfully or physically when you want to feel inspired?
I do transcendental meditation. It's TM. It's started Maharishi, and it became very big in California. I was reading a book by The Big Fish, and then I love his movies. I love him. I was lucky to meet him. He's such an inspirational heart, and I've started practicing it 8 years ago. If I want to escape, which I usually do when I wake up in the morning, dig deep every morning when the sun comes up, and that's where I really escape. And that's where my questions, and I find the harmony inside myself. It's super peaceful. You find your answers. I believe that we come to this world knowing all the answers, but then we forget, and then we meet people and they reflect of what we already knew. And also staying, getting connected with your consciousness, with your higher self, with your third eye, with your, whatever you want to call it. It's great. It feels great. And and it's a great name, by the way, Escape, because I know Demet for now 20 years, and we've been collaborating since then. And I find her such a sweetheart too. And she's like an inspiration full of energy. And she's she dreams and she makes it real. So we don't even call it as a dream. And she's been because she loves to travel, so she loves the word escape. And she's been doing this. She's been planning to do this escape store, and like she's done many stores, but this time it's for her what she really wanted. So I'm very happy to be we have great beach kaftans there, which is also inspired from the Islamic art motif Iznik Foundation, and it's very limited edition. It won't be restocked. But I'm always very much happy, and I appreciate all her work, her energy, because she's an inspiration. So them listening to this, happy 20 years, you and me. I love you.
It's really happy to be included to here and to meet you and talk about this. Like, it's also my passion. I'm in the beginning of it, and to talk to someone who's more like into this, it definitely inspires me, and I hope it inspires. Thank you so much.
Well, Nil, thank you so much, and I feel like you might be done a great start. So once you start like that, it will get bigger. It was lovely to talk to you, and I love your hat. I forgot to tell you. Okay, bye bye.